Hi, everyone. Thank you again for joining us today. Thank you, Lama, for speaking. I know this is your first time speaking. I know we had wanted to have you, I think, at the last one, but unfortunately you couldn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great to have you finally at an event, and I hope you enjoy today. I hope everyone watching enjoys today as well, and you're a great speaker, I'm sure, with great information for them. So today you'll be presenting on what a strong personal brand can do for your career. So Lama Younes is a career and mindset coach who helps leaders and individuals ready for change to move forward towards a breakthrough. Lama found great success in various human resources role in the corporate world before deciding to make the part of the work she found most fulfilling her full-time job, coaching. Lama's solution-based focused coaching puts the client or business and their goals front and center, which means coaching conversation doesn't end until there are actionable and measurable takeaways, and likely a few insights as well. Thank you again for speaking today, Lama, and good luck with your presentation.
Thank you. Thanks, Alex. Thanks for the intro. I can see people starting to come in. Welcome, everyone. I hope you guys can already see the comment that I've dropped in here in the chat, and do drop your questions in here as you go along. I didn't actually create content that's going to take up the whole 20 minutes because I want to leave some time to answer your questions as we're going along. So I'm going to start us off, actually, before I even introduce, with a poll. So if you guys see on the side navigation here, there's a poll. Go ahead and navigate to that and put in your votes. Have you intentionally spent time on developing your personal brand? Go ahead and put your vote in while I get my screen share going. I actually don't see the, Oh, I think it might be taking the votes, but let me know if in the chat if you guys can actually see the poll. If anyone can just type yes to let me know. Do you guys see the poll there? Okay, perfect. All right. Let me give you just 10 more seconds and then I'll show the results and we'll jump right into the presentation. All right. Okay, here we go. Let's take a quick look at the poll. It's not showing the results. Okay, technical difficulties. Never mind. Let me jump right in here, you guys. Again, welcome. My name is Lama. I'm a career and mindset coach, and I'm so happy to be here with you guys today. I have a long history in corporate HR at Fortune 100 companies, and I'm combining that along with some powerful coaching tools to give clients a unique experience in accelerating their careers. So here we go. Today, I want to talk to you guys about the importance of personal and leadership brand. First, we'll walk through what that actually means, and then more importantly, why that's so critical to your career in general and to your growth in specific. And finally, how can I use that to accelerate my career? So let's start off with a couple of examples here. Okay, here we go. So you all know these two, Oprah on the left and Steve Jobs on the right. So what pops into your mind when you see their faces? I just want to give you a couple of seconds to think about that. For Oprah, when you think about her, when you hear her name, you're probably thinking of words like inspiration and influence. Yeah. And for Steve Jobs, what do you think? Probably words like focus, makes things happen, takes no bullshit. Right, there's a lot of things that we instantaneously think of when we see their faces or hear their names. Yeah, look at there's certainty and vision, absolutely. So those words that are popping into your mind. They are the ones that's their brand. That's the reputation that they've worked on and that they've developed, so that you can think that when you see their face or hear their name. Okay, so let's play a little bit of a game of this or that. So think through here for each one of these lines. Are you being purposeful with your actions or on automatic pilot? Are you making a lasting impression or are you blending in? Do you have a presence or are you the kind of person where we just ask, who was that? Are you in constant renewal or do you stay more stagnant? Are you unique or not different from anybody else? Are you creating a legacy or do you let others define you? Do you seek feedback or do you run from feedback? Are you adding value or are you taking up space? Are you clear in your communication, or does your communication seem kind of cloudy? If you've answered yes to any of these on the left column here, fantastic. You're working intentionally on your brand. If you've answered yes to any of them on the right side, then you'll want to take a closer look to take control over your brand. Okay? All right. So this quote is by a personal branding expert. She says, everyone has a personal brand by design or by default. So really, guys, you can choose it or it will be chosen for you. I would much prefer that you choose it. Be on the side of that. So here are the short answers to those questions we asked at the beginning. What is your personal brand? It's what you're known for. It's what your peers, coworkers, leaders, clients, and customers think as soon as your name comes up. And why is your personal brand so critical for your career? Well, very simply put, because it's essentially your reputation. It's going to be the first thing that someone thinks, or first thing that someone replies when they get asked, hey, do you know Farah? What do you think of her? What do you know about her? If you haven't clearly defined your personal brand and you're living it out every day, then the answers to these questions might be, I'm not sure, or yeah, she works here, she's an accountant, or even worse, it could be something that that person, whoever it may be, decides to just make up about you. You should care about it because prospect employers do look you up online. You want to take charge of your message, develop a clear vision, and boost your expertise and authority. When you define your personal brand and everyone knows that you are, for example, the go-to person with a big complex problem needs to be solved, you're a problem solver. Or you're the healthcare expert. Yeah, she's the one we go to whenever we need to do anything in the healthcare sector. Or you're the best listener in the office, right? Yep, Farah is the one that we go to when we're, anyone's stuck with something and they want someone to support them and lend an ear. If you've established yourself purposely and intentionally, you're going to be known as the great listener or the healthcare expert or the amazing problem solver. Those are going to be your brand words. So let's take a look at a quick example here. So Mila is a leader in the retail banking sector. She is working on positioning herself for the next director role that opens up in her region, where the teams are known to perform poorly and need someone to turn that around. So in the past few years, Mila has intentionally worked on and demonstrated through actions over and over again that she leads large teams successfully. Her employees love working with her and often even want to follow her when she moves to different roles. They know that she supports them, works closely with them on their development needs because she intentionally listens carefully and thoughtfully to their concerns and to their desires. As a result, other team members often also compete to join her team. And she has a very low turnover rate. So word gets around in her branch and in the level above the branch of this feedback and these actions. So the next time a director role opens up in her region, what do you think will happen? There's going to be one of two options. Either she will apply and the hiring leader will be super happy to see her profile there, or she may even get tapped on the shoulder because she's known to be a great people leader, talent magnet, talent developer, and that's exactly what those leaders of that open position are looking for. That example can be applied the same way, even if it's for an outside role. It doesn't have to be within the same company. If Mila plays it right by positioning herself intentionally with the brand, let's say on her LinkedIn posts or in her networking conversations, she can get that same result. Okay, so now you may be asking, how do I be intentional about that, Lama? Here are a few practical applications to get started for yourself. And you're going to want to grab your paper and pen to jot down some notes in this part. Answer these questions for yourself to establish your brand words. What am I passionate about? Actually, I'd love to see some in the chat as you're going along, if you think of any. What do I value? What do you value for yourself? What am I good at? Number 4, what gives me credibility? What have I worked on? What makes me unique? And what are my personal brand goals? Why do you even want to have a personal brand? You got to be very intentional about that answer too. And now after you've answered those for yourself, then you'll want to craft your brand story. So start with these questions for that. Who are you? It may seem like an obvious question, but you need to know that very specifically. What have you overcome? What's your current mission? And what makes you credible? So I see someone in the chat here. They've already written down, my passion is aircraft and analytics. Perfect. That's very specific. All right, let me show you another example in action. So I've been speaking to you guys for a couple of minutes now, so you know a little bit about me already. Let me tell you my brand story, and I want you to observe while I'm saying this for the next few seconds, what you'll pick up from it. Okay, here it goes. So hey there, my name is Lama. I'm a career and mindset coach. My professional mission is to empower individuals to feel safe, bringing their whole self to the workplace and deliver their best work. I left my corporate HR job a couple of years ago to pursue coaching full-time so I can really multiply the direct impact to helping professionals accelerate their careers. My HR experience in Fortune 100 companies, combined with my coaching certification, gives my clients the best of an insider look from the organizational side, along with an advocate focusing purely on them and their goals. Okay. So I want to hear from you guys again in the chat. What do you take away from this very intentional message that you heard? Drop me some key words that you heard here in the chat. All right, let me keep going with you guys. Here it is. Let's break it down. I said, who are you? So right at the beginning, my name is Lama and I'm a career and mindset coach. And I went through my professional mission is to empower individuals, etc. That showed exactly what I'm striving for and what I'm passionate about achieving. And then when I said I left my corporate HR job for a couple of years ago to pursue coaching full time, it shows you what I overcame and the action I took, not just talk, it's also action to chase my passion. And finally, and then when I said in my experience in Fortune 100 companies, combined with my coaching certification, it gives the best, etc. That was showing you how I've acquired my skills and demonstrated them, and I'm telling you that I'm actually telling you that I have. So now you won't go around telling your story in those words exactly in that order, but you have to know your brand story inside and out in order to be able to weave it into different kinds of conversations you have. So whether that's with your current coworkers in and around the workplace that you already are in now, or you're in a networking situation, right? Some of the platforms that we have even here. If you have any leaders in your networking sessions at work, you have to be super comfortable with your elevator pitch because that'll come in handy in a ton of those situations. Okay, it'll make you come across as confident and that you know exactly what you're talking about and you know exactly what you're doing. And so very often I'm known as the career lady that helps with career stuff. I hear that all the time. That's not exactly as clear as I want it to be, but at least I know I pop into people's minds when anything related to careers comes up and they'll come and talk to me about it. All right, now, so let's take a look at what else can you be doing? Number one, definitely develop a strong professional social media presence. That's making sure your profile is in top shape, a LinkedIn profile I'm talking about here specifically, and that you're sharing and participating in conversations that establish your thought leadership and your expertise, okay? Take full advantage of those about sections. There's a lot of text space there and it's prime real estate to present yourself, so be sure to use it. Join industry and profession specific groups to practice and share your expertise there. Be consistent is the most important one out of all of these. If you're not being authentic, then staying consistent and strengthening your brand will become very hard. And so to wrap up all of this very nicely together, what is a personal brand and why is it important? Your personal brand is what you're known for, is what is said when you leave the room. And it's important to pay attention to it because you should have an intentional brand as to what will be said rather than leaving it up to the flow and just hoping that the right things are being perceived about you. So guys, if you want to know more, I talk about personal branding a lot on my social media. So scan this code up here and follow me on LinkedIn. And I hope you'll ping me with any questions that you have. I think we do have 5 more minutes. So we can just kind of hang around here and go ahead and drop your questions in the chat if you'd like. And I'm also going to drop a couple of links to make sure that you follow me, because starting next week, I'm going to be giving away a freebie. It's going to be a workbook that can help you advance your career in the workplace. I'm going to drop that here in the chat for you guys to follow me here, and just start dropping your questions in the chat. I'd be happy to answer a few. Yeah, and I can see that comments in here you guys noticed from the brand story that, yeah, you picked up the message totally. Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome, Vivian. Did we have any questions? I want to just leave a couple of seconds for you guys to actually drop any questions, or if you need any clarification on any of that stuff that I just mentioned. Could you elaborate more on being consistent? Sure, thank you for that question. So being consistent is, I'm basically kind of saying you have to be sure that you're being authentic, right? If you're not being authentic, you're gonna kind of feel like there's gonna be inconsistencies in maybe what you're saying, or it'll sound like you're making something up, right? If you're not being authentic about it, you may end up running into a lot of these inconsistencies because you're making something up, essentially, right? Don't try to be someone else. Don't try to be, your colleague. Don't try to be the person that you knew, 10 years ago who had a really good career. You have to really know your own self very well, and just authentically be that. That's why you have to kind of do a lot of the self-awareness to say, what are my strengths, right? Take a stock of your strengths. I think Rachel in the last session was saying that too. Take a stock of your strengths, take a stock of your development needs, know those, take stock of your passions and your interests, and just it that way. Don't act as if you're anybody else. I hope that answers the question. So there's another one here. How can you overcome lack of noticeable footprint because you don't have a lot of experience? I think, Clero, that's a very good question. I think with lack of experience, there's a ton that you can do. You can actually do so much more than when you already do have experience. With lack of experience, I would say go out and find any volunteering opportunities that you absolutely can. Go and do, even run your own projects. Go into those profession-specific career groups or professional groups that are on LinkedIn or even on Facebook, and participate with your own value. Show what you know, and help people see you, right? You have to continue being visible. So by adding value without expecting anything in return, you will eventually get people's attention. So that would be kind of my answer for you there, Claro. Just go out and volunteer or create your own projects and be able to showcase your talents as much as possible. Thank you. What other questions do we have? I think I'll take one more question if anybody has one before we go. Okay. If we don't have any other questions, I think we're all good to go. I don't know if Alex is still here and he'll close up the session for us. Oh, we can't hear you, Alex. Yeah, there we go.
Sorry about that. I was unplugged.
No worries.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks for speaking. It was really great presentation, really a lot of great information there. And I'm glad that you're able to get some questions in as well. So you made time for that, which is great. I see that you have that there. So that's how people can connect with you on LinkedIn, correct? Through scanning that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
they can scan that or just click on the link I dropped in the chat.
Okay, great. And is there any other ways that they can get in touch with you, or just LinkedIn preferred?
LinkedIn and Instagram are my best channels.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I just want to say thanks again for speaking. It's great to finally have you at an event. I know, we've had a few events that you were playing for, but it's great to finally have you speaking. It was a great presentation. And just to let everyone know, so our next round of sessions actually start in about 5 minutes or so. So you do have some free time to, go check out the other areas of the event, so networking or the expo. But yeah, I just want to say thanks again.
Thanks, Alex. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.